Wubba lubba dub dub motherfuckers. What is going on, everyone? It is I. It is everyone's favorite jack of all trades with foul mouth coming to urban. And welcome back, guys, to another awesome fucking video, guys. I really do appreciate it. And before I do dive into this bitch, big special shout out to all of you guys, my viewers and my subscribers, for sticking around watching this shit. The reason why I fucking do is for all you guys, so yeah. And this is going to be my end of build review / reveal of my 1/600 scale USS Bainbridge by Aurora / Atlantis models. And before I show you the model, we'll talk about the dude, you know, the pros and cons of the kit. I like to just kind of show you guys the box and the instructions and just kind of tell you a little bit, you know, whatever about it. So on the front of the box, we fucking have here, it says nuclear powered guided missile frigate USS Bainbridge 1/600 scale all plastic assembly kit. And there is a picture of the Bainbridge at sea doing maneuvers. And of course it says Aurora in the corner. Now when I first saw this, I thought Aurora kits came back, because I knew Aurora was an old company that made models, but I didn't know they were back. But then when I seen it on the back of the box, Atlantis. Of course, good old Atlantis, and of course it's made in America. Fuck yeah. So of course it's gonna be good. It's Atlantis kits. They're great. Fucking amazing shit. Anyway, on here the features include is 11.75 inches long. My deck's bigger than that. 82 pieces, molded in light gray with waterslide decals. And here is a little bit of a history on the Bainbridge. It says it's a history, but it's more like operational features and shit over. And of course there's some more in different fucking languages. And of course here's your paint guide. Paint sold separately. The paint as shown on model use colors indicated. And it says black, brown, dark gray, hull red, silver, tan, and white. But there was no pictures of the fucking completed model, the fucking as a base. But here's the size of the box. It says this is kit number A717, scale level 2, 14 plus at 1/600 scale by Aurora. And then when you read this here, it says Atlantis models. And then the Aurora oval logo is a registered trademark of the Atlantis Toy and Hobby Company. So Atlantis fucking owns the rights to Aurora. Of course, there's the box on the other side again, in the back of the box. It's just like most Atlantis kits. Just tells you to go online, check out their website, and they got a lot of nice kits, so I'm pretty stoked at looking at that shit. Anyway, so we have the box. Here was the instructions. It's got that nice image of the ship on the front again. And of course it says Aurora, and of course Atlantis Toy Hobby Incorporated. And of course it says use Aurora's fireproof styrene cement. Oh, I didn't know they had a cement that could cause fires. Well, I feel like that's kind of scary. Of course, some facts about the Bainbridge. And once you open it up, it's pretty nice instructions. They're kind of an exploded diagram that shows you where to put shit, where shit goes, how stuff gets attached, with some pretty detailed explanations about where shit goes and why shit goes there. So overall, like I said, it's a very detailed summary. And finally, once you're all said and done, then they actually show you an actual image of what the model should look like. Well, I think mine looks a hell of a lot better than theirs does. But then they also tell you about other hot model kits. For Sherman, I've actually built her sister, the John Paul Jones, of course USS Pittsburgh, and USS Wisconsin, which I've actually built the USS Missouri version of this kit. So with all that fucking said and done, let's go ahead and take a look at the fucking finished kit, the reveal. Da 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 da. Well, there we go, guys. There she is. the USS Bainbridge by Aurora / Atlantis models. And honestly, when you first look at it, you know, for such a small fucking scale kit, it's pretty nice. It's actually very detailed for being so small and being so old. Because the tooling I seen under this deck piece here, it said 1964 Aurora model, so the tooling's been around for a fucking while. But it's quite nice. I'm actually kind of pleased with it. Because usually these little tiny scale models, I'm not a big fan of small model ships because I like them big, as you can probably see. Yeah, I like bigger kits. That's Yamato, by the way. I need to get her back working on her again, but I gotta get paint. But the detail on this is quite nice. I mean, molded deck detail is good. You know. So now overall, what are my pros and my cons on this kit? Well, pros, you know, it's pretty straightforward. The instructions were quite nicely laid out. So it explained to you what the parts were and showed you pretty detailed illustrations of what the parts look like. So you looked at the parts, and if you actually have some fucking brains to you and shit and actually can follow instructions, look at pictures, you'll be able to build this model with no fucking problems. So that's one pro. Two, it wasn't too hard to paint, even though it was light gray. It was actually molded in light gray plastic, which is nice, unlike some other manufacturers. Trumpeter and their dark gray ass shit. I wish it would have been white like Revell. Revell makes a lot of white plastic kits and shit, which I wish it would have been white, but oh well. Wasn't hard to paint. It was pretty easy to paint overall. And finally, just, you know, assembly. Assembly wasn't too bad either, for the most part. But now the cons of the kit. One, I would have to say the scale. I don't like small scale models. Never really have. Even though I do have a lot of them. Just don't really care for small model ships. And the reason why, like I said, you know, go big or go home. But that doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, they're nice if you have limited space, you know. But two, there was a few fit issues, like the stern deck here. There was excess plastic around the back end here that I had to cut off and to trim away and shit to make this fucking fit in. That took a little while to fucking figure that out. And of course, this main deck piece here, from here all the way to here, was all one piece. And that took a little bit to get that to fit. Took quite a bit of glue, actually, for this main deck piece to go down right. Other than that, most of the other pieces pretty much went on pretty nicely. Some of these whip antennas went on kind of hard. These king posts went on nicely. That antenna went on nicely. These lifeboats and their davits went on nicely. The aftermast, or the main mast, and the foremast. It was mainly just a couple fit issues with the kit. Mainly, like I said, the stern and the main deck. And of course the pedestals, feet for the base to the base plate. They were kind of wonky. But once you put a little time and shit to it, it's fine. So yeah, overall it's not a bad kit. Oh, and also these missiles. There's these little notches that these missiles go into. The little thing on the missile that goes into the notch. They did not want to fucking fit in those notches. So I had to fucking fiddle around and fuck with them for a little bit and get them on there. But once you get them on, they look quite fucking nice. Quite fucking good. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad kit. I would give it a rating of an 8. A good solid 8. It's a nice little kit. You could build it in a weekend if you want. It actually was one of the quickest builds I've done on the channel. Only 4 parts, so roughly not even 2 weeks it took to build her. Usually because most models take about a month. Like, you know, like regular straight out of the box builds usually take about a month. She took less than 2 weeks. It wasn't bad. And if you really want to, you could build this little bitch in a weekend. And it might be okay. It might look like shit, I don't know. But, you know, it's not bad. Its overall's 8. Because there's, like I said, some fucking fit issues. The stern deck and the main deck, but the rest of it went on down just fine. Other than that, it's easy to paint, easy to assemble. Oh, one other thing I do have a gripe about. The instructions, when they tell you the parts, there's no part numbers. Nope, there was no part numbers for this kit. There was no part numbers, so that was kind of a bit of a shitter. Bit of a fucking shit can. No fucking part numbers, which I hate, because honestly, you know, if you're not like me and take your time and shit, you might put the wrong piece somewhere and you're fucked. So, that's another gripe, but overall, not a bad looking kit. Not a bad looking model at all. So yeah, overall, it's an 8. Great kit. I would recommend this to anybody who wants to have a nice little weekend project, or even a project that might take a week or so. Great model. So there you have it, guys. That is my end of build review of the Aurora / Atlantis models. 1/600 scale nuclear powered guided missile frigate USS Bainbridge. And if you have any questions or comments behind the shit I fucking do, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get back with you. If you're new to the channel, hit that fucking subscribe button, hit the damn notification bell. Never miss it from yours truly, become a member of the Commodore's crew. And until next time around, guys, this is Commodore Urban, saying a smooth seas and clear skies and happy sailing with all of you. God bless you all. Take care, stay safe, be yourselves. Jesus and the good Lord love y'all very much. Until next time around, I'll catch you on a warm trade wind to where hell anyone knows. And anchors away, motherfuckers. Yeah.